All right, welcome to the Big Three, where we get to talk about this week's sermon from North Boulevard Church of Christ in Murfreesboro, Tennessee. And we'll take questions, we'll make some observations from you, from me, from Jax, and this week's special guest, Emily Barnett. You guys kind of know each other.
Yeah, just a little bit. Thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, it's so great to see y'all again. We are on week 4 of Audacious Identity. Anthony, by the way, absolutely killed it. He did so good.
So much energy. He just gets you going, right?
Yeah.
Love it.
So a quick summary. I like the way that he had those 3 points that all kind of lined up. But when you're part of the family of Christ, you're marked to belong. You're marked to belong to this family, this church across the world. And as we were talking about this morning, we're connected all over the world through technology, which is incredible. You're marked to be free from sin, from guilt, from the things in your past that are really just trying to hold you down. And you're marked for the win. Christ has already conquered everything that there is. And like you said, you're not fighting to be on the winning team. You're fighting as part of the winning team. And I mean, he just killed it. He did so good.
Yeah. We can just walk away. That was perfect. You hit everything right there. Good job. That was good. All right, so let's start with a question or an observation, and we're going to share a highlight from this morning's message. You started, so
yeah, go ahead, Emily.
You want to go first?
Yeah, sure.
All right, awesome.
There are so many things that we could talk about, but I think I loved the way that he kind of spun the Holy Spirit in a way that I had never really considered before, how that not only is the Holy Spirit given to us as it is a mark of we belong and have been chosen, but it is not just a sign for ourselves, but a sign for the rest of the world that we are marked by the Holy Spirit. We are marked like a trademark or like a logo or like a signature of God on us, that we are God's chosen people.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a really cool.
Yeah, the Holy Spirit. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but when I pray, I pray through the Holy Spirit, asking the Holy Spirit to intercede. And so that mark, I think sometimes people don't necessarily understand or feel, but I think that was really important that he, brought that up today.
Yeah, and, I think a lot of times, me especially, I sometimes struggle with feeling like there's a God in heaven, and then I'm down here, and there's just kind of this weird spiritual thing. And so talking about how the Holy Spirit, part of the Holy Trinity, is part of us, is gifted to us through this connection with Christ, just incredible.
And it's a gift. I love that you used the word gift.
Yep.
We can't earn it.
No.
I love that he kind of made that point. We're not going to earn it.
Right.
It's a gift from God, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so the other thing you said, you used the word feeling. And I thought it was interesting today and very important that Anthony talked about feelings. And, he one of the first things he asked was what label or story from your past whispers in here. And then he said, I think one of my favorite quotes today was, our feelings don't define God's reality.
Yeah.
Because I think, especially in this world right here, we are driven by our feelings. What feels good?
Yeah.
What, if we feel bad, and our feelings, they're so powerful, right? And they shape everything, and they shape how we see the world. But that made me think about how our feelings are subjective. If you're having a good day, your environment, what's going on. But God, his reality is unchanging.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what is happening or how we're feeling, God works all things for the good.
Yeah. Well, and on that, he said freedom isn't a feeling, it's a finished fact with Christ. So it's not just I feel light and feel like it's like you said, it's objective. It is not the subjective feeling of I feel free from everything, but it's true. It is locked in. It is law and gospel. Yeah.
And that's so hard to see whenever you're in the muck and the mire.
Oh, yeah.
When we're in those dark places and we don't feel like God or the Holy Spirit, that's whenever, but we've got to remember that we are marked.
Yeah.
And God's reality is unchanging.
Yeah.
And I think that talking about when we're in the depths of things and when we're going through trials or when things are really hard, it's hard to remember that we're marked for the win as well.
Yeah.
And that that God has already won. Jesus has already come before us.
That's right.
And he has overcome the world. And so there's nothing that we should be concerned about or afraid of, that God has already come before us, and that he's cleared the path so we can just kind of walk through.
Yeah.
And that's where I call on the Holy Spirit. All right, help me remember that.
Yeah.
Help me remember that, because I don't always remember it when I'm down in the depths.
Yeah.
So, all right.
So,
got anything else?
Yeah, so there was one other thing that I just absolutely loved. Near the beginning, it was talked about the covenant that the Israelites had with God. They said that the covenant was, it was basically an exchange. They were to be faithful, and they were to obey, and in return, God passed on his blessing and his presence. And then the very next thing he says that he points out from Colossians, baptism is that covenant. Our baptism was that act of obedience, that act of faithfulness. It was stepping out into the world and down into the water to say, I'm going to follow you. With everything that I've got, God, I'm going to follow you. And he comes with us. He put the Holy Spirit on us and in us to mark us with that. And so the baptismal covenant is just such an incredible thing. And so I love that he really kind of drove that point home, you know?
Yeah. I mean, and that's the moment that we receive that gift of the Holy Spirit. I always think of John and his baptism and descending upon him, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, if you have any more questions, let us know by scanning the QR code on your screen.
And if you want to rewatch this sermon or to watch it for the first time, you can find it at boulevard.to/sermons. And that is a wrap on this week's Big Three.
All right. Hey, y'all, thanks for being with us this morning. Look for this podcast on your favorite platforms, and be sure to join us next week for Boulevard's Big Three.